Maybe. Oh, thank you. Thank God. Macaulay, you're understanding the point Mr. Femi is making. He has made mention of
Yes.
the money we allocated for phones.
Yeah.
10,000, and then for cloud service.
Yeah, it says it must be realistic and it must be justifiable.
Perfect. So we have to take that. I think
So one of the things, one of the greatest injustice you must never do to yourself is to go to your stakeholders with guess figures. Please don't do it. And can I advise you as well? Except they ask for it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Femi.
Except they ask for it, don't go to them with this breakdown. Except they ask for it. Make sure you have done the breakdown yourself and you give them high-level figures. Your stakeholders do not have time to go through this line by line. When you do that, you will roast yourself because most of them are very good with figures. They will calculate it together and they will roast you. So make sure you have done your own background work. You have done the calculation, and on the high level, you can then come to say, phone, £10,000. Cloud service provider, £10,000 per month. XYZ. They don't need it per month. They need the figure for the project. If they're giving you 250,000 or 260,000, what they want you to do is to have a breakdown of what you've spent to now be able to summarize it, to sum it up to say, so far, we have spent 180,000. So at the moment, we have 80,000 left. And I believe 80,000 left should help us to be able to finish the project. Or if you feel this £80,000 might not be sufficient to finish the project, you make a call out right there and then. And that's why it's a report. So you make sure that you give a hint to say, well, we still have some money, but I'm not asking for extra right now because we're still good. If at any time we need anything, I'll let you know. So, which means the status of your project at the moment is what? What's the status of your project at the moment?
For my own project, I will talk of green because everything is in order. We don't have any
Fantastic. Yes. So you'll be able to put your status to be green because you have budget, you are still within timeline. Okay?
Yes.
So, but with what we have here, most of these figures have just been put there for the sake of putting figures there. Laptops, for how many people? We said 5,000. You said maintenance, hardware maintenance. You said you will be spending 500 every week. What hardware, what maintenance are we doing 500 every week? Eh? You then spoke about phone. You said £10,000. All right?
Yeah.
So we need to be able to justify that.
Yeah.
Connectivity. What do you mean by connectivity? £100 every week. Connectivity. What's the definition of that?
I believe we're referring to the internet services to the phone each team member ought to have.
How can you say connectivity for that? That has nothing, that doesn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
Then you now put another one. The next one you put there is stationaries. You said you'd be spending £50 on stationaries every week. What are we buying every week on stationaries?
We're referring to things we have to use, stationaries for the office.
What office? How many of you are in the office right now? You're working virtually.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. I think the bigger picture is getting clearer for to us now. Yeah.
So cloud service, you said you have 2,500. I pointed that out already.
Yes, I've taken that.
So we need to understand what we afford.
Yeah.
Software licenses, Jira, Azure. When you say cloud services, all of those ones encompass. So you now have additional 350. For what? So if you want to talk of subscription, then we need to know. And we need to know the justification for that, because the enterprise provides this for everyone. When it comes to Jira, do you guys pay Jira subscription? No. The enterprise, the organization provides that, not your project. Because your sponsors will query that. You can't just go to them with any figures. So you spoke about resources. On your resources, what do you have? ADM, APM, 3,000 per week. Your Scrum Master, zero money until you got to phase 2, then 3,000, 2,500. Then your business analyst, 2,250 all through. That's it? Is that all you've got?
We have the QAs and the developers.
Yeah, but it stops at, I can't see the other ones that you've got.
Let me go to.
I can't see the other one.
It's not here.
So where is it? I can't see it.
Forgot to put the picture too. But when we go up, I think we have, when we go to the third stage, phase 3, up, we have resources. And that was the unit payment of 600. We have QAs, we have developers also.
So how many QAs do you have? How many developers do you have?
We have 5. You can see it from
5 developers.
5 developers, 2 QAs, 1
What
BA.
sort of? So if you have 5 developers, you have 2 QAs. Are they doing automation testing, or what are they doing? That will help both of them to be able to catch up with the work of 5 developers.
I think we are getting the picture now clearer and better. What we were supposed to do. We did a rough estimate, but without looking at the realistic part of it with justification.
We have to look at it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be fooling ourselves, and that's not what we want.
Yeah.
So what are the issues that this project is facing currently? So what I want to see next is, how much have you spent so far? We need to go back and work on this. How much have you spent so far?
Okay, like Vivian did explain, we allocated £261,000 initially by our sponsor, and additionally we had 10,000 was later on added for software. Total budget allocated was £271,000. Actual cost from the initial stage up to the execution phase is £500,000. And then we have variance of £96,800 and a buffer of 10,700.
Okay, what is this buffer? Where is this buffer coming from? What is the buffer?
We had a balance from our budget plan we made, a balance of £700 left. from
How do you need
after
700 pounds?
700 pounds. Considering that we did all the cost, executed all the costs we needed to do for the human resource.
You are talking of end-to-end plan.
End-to-end
That's
plan,
your
correct.
detailed plan. If you do your detailed plan, then it will leave you with 700 pounds. So which one is 10,700?
The 10,000 that was later on added to us, we didn't use it, but we kept it. We didn't return it.
Why were you giving 10,000?
It was allocated additionally for software, for the purchase of software, but the money came after we have already done our budgeting, and so we did not.
Okay, you can't plan like this, all right? What I want to know, I don't need the 700 that you have planned, because don't forget you are ADM, Agile Delivery Manager.
Yes.
Okay? What you want us to see is the variance, how much you have left. I don't want to know anything about the 700 because that's waterfall.
Okay.
Detailed planning is waterfall. We don't need the detailed planning. What we need to know is where you are right now. You are the one that knows how long it's going to take you to finish and how much it's going to cost you. But at the moment, because you are in green, you want us to see that you have 96,800 left.
Yes.
That's what is important.
Okay, good.
I don't need to see the buffer anymore.
Okay. Okay. Noted. Macaulay and Sodiq, are you people on the same page with myself in relation to what Mr. Femi is saying? Or do you need clarity in any aspect so that we know that we are together on the same page?
I'm on the same page.
Okay. Macaulay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good. So we are moving forward. You can as well take some of the correction. I'm taking down, though we have a recording here. So if we have questions, we should ask so that we can be able to explain better to the other team members and for our own good. And then our rate log, this is just a theoretical part of it.
I don't need a theory. I want to see where you are. I don't want theory. This is not saying anything to me.
This the velocity chart for sprint 1 to 4 so far for the project. And
this is not saying anything to me. Do you know how to calculate velocity?
I think so, but I don't know if I can remember now.
You guys have just brought, this report is not really saying it. Go back, please. You really need to go back and get serious with your report. All right?
Okay.
If you are going to give me velocity, I need to see the velocity chart. If you want me to see your burn down chart, I want to see the burn down chart. Your velocity chart, when you talk of velocity, is telling me the rate of speed at which the team is delivering value. And if that's the case, the way you calculate your velocity, some would do 3 sprints backwards. Some would do 5 sprints backwards. If you are going to do from 3 sprints backwards, you need to calculate the user story, the story points that you have picked. You add the story points together and you divide it by 3. If you are talking of the 5 sprints, you need to add it together and divide it by 5. And that would be your velocity. And I would need to see that. But this is not saying anything to me at all.
Okay.
Go back.
Noted.
This rate log is not saying, it's not telling me anything. I don't know what your colors stand for, and I don't want picture. You can't come and show you can't be showing your stakeholder picture of rate logs that you picked somewhere. You've got to create the log yourself. You have to maintain it, create it, and be able to maintain it. That's what I want. This is a wishy-washy one. You need to do a better job with this.
We will, Mr. Femi, I promise. At least we are getting the corrections and the pictures better now. So, velocity chart, what next? Vivian, I don't know, this, I don't think we have anything to do with this. Then let me share the other one. We had two. Let me try to share the other one. I don't like it on the PowerPoint. So this is the second one we have before you for reporting from Team Twilight.
Why is it not in PowerPoint?
It is on PowerPoint. Let me see if I can put it on. No, it's too big. I don't like it this way. I cannot see everything. So we have it. Mr. Femi, can I share in PowerPoint in the Word document? I cannot flow well with this on PowerPoint. It looks funny to me, so I cannot. Anyway, we can do it like this.
You've got to be able to flow well with it, because you wouldn't be presenting what document to your stakeholder.
Yeah. Anyway, let me try. It looks funny to me because it's too big. Let me see if I can reduce. Let me just flow, Mr. Femi. Here we have, before we have a project status report. And
I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing what I'm
sharing. You're not seeing. Let me go back again. Sorry. Are you seeing my screen now, Mr. Femi?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. So before us, we have the project status report, specifically from Team Twilight as the ADM. Project scope is 3 months. And then we have our report was on the 9th of August. And then before we also see that we have the logo of the company, and then the address, telephone number, and email, fax number. So we'll move to the next slide. Here we have the status summary of Spring 4, because we were reporting at that time in Spring 4. The project aimed to develop an online learning platform where instructors can update their course content and materials, while students can also make successful payments. User can as well navigate and access the platform easily. So several risks and issues were encountered during the project from the Spring 1, and such as team conflict, Scrum Master attrition, some Scrum Master left, and the workload became too much for the remaining Scrum Master, but they were able to restructure things, and the misunderstanding between business and as the BAs, and challenges faced during onboarding and misuse PBIs. And then we have the project overview. Under project overview, we have the task of Spring 4. 70% was already completed, with, I would say, 0% risks at the moment. And then we have the status update, the owner being the ADM. And then we have the note. We took 6 PBIs approved and committed into Spring 4. And then we have a budget for initiation, execution, and deliverables, and delivery stage of it, which we presented to you. At that moment, we could say 163,000 pounds was already spent for the initiation stage and execution stage. So we call it that 60.33% job was already done, and we have 29.73% left, of which presently we are going into sprint. The next sprint is
sorry, I don't get that. That's confusing.
Okay, so far at the time we were reporting this this project in the sprint 4 before we came to an end to sprint 4. 60.33% of the job of the task has been done so far, and we have 29.73% left. And
if
the
you add
money,
that together, what does that give?
it will give us 100% done. That signifies
60,
that
60 plus 29. What would that be?
that would be 89.
So are you counting 0.33 as what? How can that be 100%?
Okay, then we can think of 60%.
Then you are contradicting yourself. You said 60.33 is done, but at the top on sprint 4, you said 70% is done.
Oh, you're correct, Mr. Femi.
No, I'm wrong.
No, you're you're correct, very correct. Sorry.
So the figures are not added up.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say, thank you so much for the correction. I just realized that now. Much of the work have been done because we are already on sprint 4. Presently, we are on the last stage of it, and at that moment, we have no risk was at stake or dependencies or issues. So our project was on track, 100% on track, positively on track, like you can see green, signifying
No
that
risk, no issue.
no, there were issues in the previous sprint 1, 2, and 3, but in sprint 4, no issues. So the quality so far presently on high quality standards set by the management in track with no deviation in the project with high assurance to a successful launch. So we are on track. There is no issue so far.
Okay. Me, I have issues with your calculation, right?
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gave
So
us.
which one is this buffer? 700 plus 10,000.
The buffer is just what you corrected us because we had the same buffer of 700 was the buffer we had before, and then later on 10,000 was added to us for software, and we didn't use it because it came after our budgeting has been made, our plan has been done, and money has been allocated for stage 1 and 2. So we have not used the money so far, hoping that maybe situation might change before the end of the project, and we will definitely maybe need to use the money. That's why we have not returned the money back to our sponsor.
Okay.
So, like risks and issue history, meaning that before sprint 4, there were some issues that came that arose, and then it was solved at that moment. So it did not affect the project because mitigation plans were put aside and they were implemented when they showed up. So these are the history so far of our risks or issues that came up that would have affected the project so far. There was team.
But you said that you don't have any risk.
For sprint 4, Mr. Femi, that was what I meant.
Okay. And I can't read this. This is not readable.
Yeah, I myself, I try to read it. That was why I wanted to about the Word document. Firstly, there was a team conflict and miscommunication among the QA's team due to the difference in time zone. This resulted in unavailability of QAs and affected work in progress, quality and delivering as planned. The mitigation plan was the SM had a team meeting and a one-on-one team meeting session with the QAs to solve the problem, coach the entire team, the effect of divided attention on a project, what divided attention could cause, could actually make the project to fail. And the team will be accountable for this. A shared understanding was achieved with work in progress. Secondly, we faced the loss of 3 Scrum Masters who were unable to align with their job description. This led to an overburden of workload on the remaining SMs. Mitigation plan was put into place. However, the 3 Scrum Masters proactively restructured their schedules and availability to maintain a healthy working environment for the team. We ensure that team members remain focused on achieving the overall objective of the project and the sprint goal. The third issue was a misunderstanding between the business analysts on workload, leading to forgetfulness. As a result, we had limited product PBIs during the day of sprint planning. There wasn't any PBIs because the BAs had misunderstanding among themselves and they forgot to do their job. But definitely there was a mitigation plan, which I also interfered, and we had to get to our PO, and we were flexible and proactively came together, and the PA had to work overtime to ensure that we have user stories approved by, later on approved by the PO within this overtime, and then we're all committed into the sprint. So proactiveness and flexibility was the solution to this situation. And then we have furthermore, some team members face access issues to use the project tools during the onboarding stage. Mitigation plan was the Scrum Master escalated this issue to the appropriate channels, and it was successfully resolved. Lastly, one of the PBIs meant for the student journey was mistakenly used for the instructor's journey and was not committed into the sprint. Mitigation plan. To resolve this, the BAs worked on this PBI and obtained approval from the PO and then committed it into the sprint. So those were the issues facing this project from sprint 1 to sprint 3, but because we didn't have any issue in sprint 4. As you can see down below, under issue, we have risk is under control, which means we are on green. No issue, no risk, no dependency at the moment, and then no issues. And then we have work in progress is of great quality. The quality delivering is top, and we are within time box.
Okay. I just can't see this properly. This is
Mr.
not.
Femi, please let me share on with the other document, please. Myself, I'm not comfortable with this.
But you can't do that with your stakeholders.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes, yes. You've corrected me on that. Thank you. Okay, I think this is a bit clearer for me, yeah? But this was what we had. And then we're talking about the status, the issues of the project. We have risk is under control for the sprint 4 and presently now. And then we have project status, the work in progress is moving on smoothly. We don't have any blockers at the moment, no risks at the moment, no dependencies, and no issues. The quality delivery is at top and aligns with what was planned to be. We are working within time box. All deliverables have been delivered from sprint 1 to sprint 4 with top quality. And then you have our velocity before you for sprint 1 to 4. At that time, I took the picture. Our sprint 4 was incomplete.
Okay.
So, conclusion, recommendation in relation to the issues that actually we face from sprint 1 to 3. You can see it before here. The team successfully completed the development of the online learning platform. However, to avoid such problems in the future, it is recommended to implement the following measures. These other points are just telling us that the importance of having mitigation plans are set aside to ensure that when we come to that stage or the surface, we should be able to be proactive and flexible to put them into plan so that the project should be successful at the end. And that will definitely be a success for the team, for the organization, and stakeholders as well as users. And that will definitely affect the organization positively for the good of everyone. Then there was onboarding support, effective communications. Scrum Masters were able to connect with the ADMs, and the ADM was able to have meeting with them, and we had to schedule every Thursday, 7 p.m. we meet together for me to get the insight of the project and what is happening at the moment, if there are any issues, risks at hand, so that it should be escalated immediately, in order not to affect the project. There was also conflict resolution, which also was the Scrum Master were being coached on what to do and how to do them and how to respond to such situation. And continuous monitoring of the project was also put into place. All this information where I was able to get this by creating the open question in order to engage the Scrum Masters for them to be able to give the defined information on what I was asking them and what I wish to know about the project, for us to always stay on green, to ensure that deliverables are delivered within time box and with high quality. So that's the end of the report so far.
Okay. One of the challenges why you have is because you have too many words.
Okay.
Your report, you see, when you are doing presentation, when you want to use PowerPoint, you don't need to have too many words.
Okay.
Your slide should be what is talking for you mostly.
Okay.
That's why you see that when people are using PowerPoint, they're able to use pictures. Like this one, if you put it on PowerPoint, you just need to reduce the font because PowerPoint would automatically try to reduce it for you.
Okay.
But if you force it, then it's not going to be clear.
Okay.
And that's one of the challenges that you may find.
Thank you
All
so
right?
much. Yeah, noted.
So if some people would actually just, for example, if you had put this, let's say you did your calculation, you have any calculation, you do it in Excel, you can easily just take a snapshot of it and just put it on your PowerPoint.
Okay.
And PowerPoint would also give you opportunity to enlarge or expand it or use it so as to good
Okay.
ability
Noted.
to be able to lead it.
Thank you so
All right?
much. Yeah.
No problem.
I have a question, Mr. Femi. There was something I was not sure of. This report, for example, there is an issue history. It has to do with the template.
We don't need history.
Yeah,
You just
that
need
was
to
what I wanted to ask.
You don't need to put history. All you just have to do is risk and issue column.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if any of them is closed, the status is what I want to see. There are so many words here that your stakeholders will be put off with it. All you want to put is what I expect you to create is it risk ID or issue ID? All of them must have ID.
Okay.
Issue 001, issue 003, issue 0025, is issue 0 risk 005, risk, because it's with the ID that you can track it.
Okay.
When you add the number for it, then you have description. There is a risk that so things may happen if this happens. That's a risk.
Okay.
Or there is an issue that the team is currently facing, whereby XYZ amount of things that happened. And if not mitigated quickly, may result into something like this. An issue is something that has happened or that is happening, that is currently happening. A risk is something that has not happened. But if it happens, it may affect our timeline, our budget, or project itself negatively. And that's why it's important for us to capture.
Noted.
So we need to have the ID, the description. Then we need to know the impact.
Okay.
Is it a high impact? Is it low? And that's where you may want to give us red, amber, green color. And that's why it has to be in a color.
Yeah.
All right. Then you also then need to help us to know the mitigation plan in front of it. You can't put it together like that.
Yeah.
No, it's not readable.
So, Mr. Femi, thanks so much for that input. If we are to put the mitigation plan, where is it supposed to be?
You are supposed to create different columns for it.
Column. Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Very well. Noted.
Huh?
Yes, noted. I've noted that down.
So it's got to be that we do it in such a way that you can easily say, oh, this is what this is. This is what that is. And you are able to separate them individually.
Okay.
If you are not able to separate them individually, it will cause trouble.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I'm very clear.
So
that was I was not sure of it, but I had to put it in because I was feeling it was too detailed, but I was not sure. But I said it's better to come here and ask. But let us have the plan. The next question I wish to ask is on that conclusion and recommendation. Are we supposed to write a bit details like this or in point form, or what is expected? What is the standard level of it? If we have to write the recommendation.
let me see what conclusion. Your recommendation. If you have recommendation, what's the recommendation? Recommendation is you are recommending how to do things for the manager or for the lead, right?
Yes.
So you can't, despite the risk and issue faced during project, and now transform him successfully. That's not a recommendation.
Okay.
If you say to avoid such problem in the future, it is recommended to implement the following measures. You see, you are the one that is meant to implement. You are the ADM. You are the one to manage this. The leadership are not going to come to your project to manage the project for you.
Yeah.
When you say conflict, establish a process for identifying and resolving twin conflicts promptly to prevent them from. That's your job.
Okay.
There is no need telling me to give me such a recommendation because it is your job. That's why I'm paying you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you bring this to me, I will see you as a theoretical person.
Okay.
Oh, does that mean you are not doing your job? Are you expecting me to come and do your job?
No.
Do you get it now?
Very well.
So we need to look at some of those things. When you want to say in conclusion, if you put in conclusion, nothing is wrong with that. What you want to highlight is project is on track.
Yeah.
However, we have X, Y, Z issue, which we believe. For example, if you have resource issue, you can escalate it. Oh, we have resource issue. We do not have enough developers, or our developers are not experienced, or we need better developers. So if you feel that the Scrum Masters are not pulling their weight, you just put it, oh, we haven't got Scrum Master, or the Scrum Masters we have are inexperienced. But it's got to be that you are diplomatic about it and you carry them along.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait, yeah, noted. Very clear. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I hope I've helped you.
Sadiq Makole, do you have any question in relation to what we have gone through now?
Let me quickly just share my screen before I close, because I'm going to close the meeting.
Okay.
We'll leave it now, right? So I just want to show you and tell me. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Mr. Femi.
Can you see risk ID?
Yes.
the description of it. I want to see your risk like this. Okay?
Yes.
The impact. You can tell me this is the impact. If this happened, this is what would happen. And then you can tell us the mitigation plan.
Wow, wow. It's easier, yeah.
That's what I'm expecting. So it should be in this. This you can color code this. You can put this as green, as amber, as yellow, as blue, as whatever you want. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You can use green if it's under your control, if it's not a problem, if it is bad and you are not able to control it, then you make it red. This is how you should capture your risk, not the way you've done it. It's modeled off the way you've done it.
Yeah. Okay.
Any question? Okay. Have a good evening, everyone. Enjoy your night.
So much. Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Well,
So, good night, Vivian. Hi, Vivian. Good night, Sadiq. My colleague, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
It's good night. Vivian, good night. Vivian is not there.
Good night. This thing was stuck. I couldn't open it.
Okay. My sister, please be strong. Be strong. May the soul of your brother rest in peace. Please try and be strong. Please. Please.
Thank you.
Yeah, try and have a good rest. Try to rest. Please.
Okay.
At least we're able to present something today, and the corrections, I've taken down the corrections also. So try and sleep. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Good night, Katifo.
Night, go.
I don't know how to leave here now. Yeah.